All right, good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person that committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent to these charges. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We will set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule. Here is the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use that information against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Crystal Jacobs. Oh, this is you. That's me. Morning, Crystal. What's your date of birth?
9/25/85.
Very good. You're here on a warrant, Crystal, that I signed. I found probable cause for violation of probation. Mr. Heisen.
Yes, thank you, sir. I've got proof that she paid off the amount of money due on this particular case, and she turned herself in. I have a letter from a lady who she helps take care of. And probation tells me that she has
possession of paraphernalia and driving on license suspended. That was for the PTI contract.
Okay, so it's not bad. Okay.
No.
Apparently she has an additional case, 17MM2136, which is a PTI that now is coming back for, as was announced, paraphernalia and driving suspended. I'd be requesting that we unsuccessfully terminate the probation since she managed to pay everything off, and I believe she'd be willing at this time to enter a plea on the new case and request that instead of PTI that she be placed back on probation to do whatever the court thinks is an appropriate sentence.
Okay. And does she have a felony case open? That's not here.
Yes, sir.
Representing her on that? Or?
No, sir. I'm not going to be representing her on that.
Okay.
It's in court tomorrow.
Okay. All right. And Miss Nettie, what do you? So she's.
But she had a PTI, which was possession of paraphernalia, and a driving on suspended license. That was a PTI, and then she got another driving on suspended. That was put on probation. So I supervised both cases.
Okay.
And when she picked up the new charges, the felony charges, the probation and the PTI were both returned because of the new law.
Okay. And do you want her back on probation?
Oh, well, he just said you're going to unsuccessful.
No, I just asked for that.
You asked for it on the PTI case, right?
No, on the violation of probation case, I'm asking for an unsuccessful termination with the suggestion that she plea out on the PTI case that's coming back and still have control over her through separate probation.
Right. So 17MM2136. Have you done the return of PTI on that?
Yes, that was returned back on January 4th.
Okay. And is that set someplace? Just trying to make sure I clean everything up. Yep. Okay. We'll get there.
Do you have anything, Charles?
I haven't. There's no as far as the turn date. will let paperwork come back recently. The PTO? The day manager, so I gotta say.
It's interesting because it hasn't come back on the docket yet, but the state filed information last month. It's going to file another one this month in the case that shows closed. So I guess I can take the plea on this.
Guess so.
There's some information.
Now, I don't know, I haven't reviewed her driving record to know if she'd be getting a 3rd and 5 now or anything, or if she'd be eligible for a clerk's withhold.
Right.
I don't know if our able probation office knows the answer to that or not. Okay.
I'm willing to take the plea now. That's obviously something we can fix later if we have.
Okay.
Okay. And then state is, other than this recent crime wave, does she have any other history?
Other than this, Your Honor, no.
This is it.
And that was a search warrant where numerous people were at a house,
Now,
and everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people got to take a trip after the search warrant.
right, gotcha. Okay. All right, so Crystal, let's start with the case that's in front of me right now, which is 17 CT 2126. So this one, this is paid, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You just told me it's paid. So this case, some warrant's been served, so I don't have to do anything with the warrant. I can just terminate it, right? Right. I terminate her unsuccessful. That takes care of this case. 21. No, that's 21,
That's-
26. Just to make it more clear.
Right. CT, not MM.
Right. Right. All right. And then Crystal, your other case, which was a PTI, which we believe should be, there's an information file, so you can enter a plea to that case. That case is 17 MM2136. It has the charges of paraphernalia and driving on suspended license. You understand, by entering a plea, you have the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent. But you want to give up those rights so we can take care of these today.
Yes, sir.
In case number 17MM2136, then as to the charge of count 1 of possession of paraphernalia, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
In charge of count 2, driving on a suspended license, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Yes, sir.
I'll accept those pleas. I'll find they're freely and voluntarily made. Adjudicate you guilty on both counts, put you on probation for 6 months. Have you pay a fine and court costs on count 1 of $518. On count 2, it'll be $88. And then, do you have a lawyer representing you on your felony case, Crystal?
I have a public defender, yeah.
Okay, very good. Just going to give you the monetaries on this. Obviously, it would appear there's a problem in your life, Crystal, that needs addressing. We'll leave that to the capable folks in the circuit court and your public defender so that they can address that. Understand that if you're picking up anything new from this point forward, it probably means being in jail for a significant amount of time, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. As soon as this is paid off, you can terminate the probation. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail right now, you can be released today. I need you to report to county probation. What is today? Thursday. No later than 4 p.m. on Monday, the 5th of March, all right?
Yes, sir.
She'll be in town tomorrow for felony court, so hopefully she can just get by after that.
Very good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Gina Loriano. Morning, Gina. What's your date of birth?
6288.
Gina, I have 7 counts of violation of conditions of pretrial release. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire a private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Appoint the PD, so she must have something to say.
Yes, sir. There is. I talked to Mr. Justice about this morning. He has the case. Apparently, there was a case that was consolidated with a battery, over 65, and a what was it? The dealer or false information to a farm broker.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, 2009.
But are you guys looking for RCO on the felony case?
We're looking at RCO on the felony case
Okay,
at this
so,
time.
so
Yes,
give me the felony case number and return date.
Yeah, the felony case number is 18 CF 284.
Right.
The offense date of 12/9/17.
Right.
And it looks like the don't see a return date.
Must be coming back for something.
It'll be on with Judge Toner, but I do not see the return date.
Clerk Franz, can you find out? Sorry.
Apologize.
Okay. All right. So Gina, what we're going to do on these 7 counts, appointed the public defender, set a bond of $1,000 on each count. However, because you picked up new charges after you already had criminal charges pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your ability to bond out on your felony case, which is 18 CF 284. So we're going to hold you on that case without bond until it comes back to court, which is March 2nd, which is tomorrow, right? The judge on the 2nd, which I think is Judge Toner, can revisit the bond if he wishes. You certainly would have a chance to resolve your case if you wish, but in any event, until that felony case has either got a bond reinstated or is resolved, you'll be in jail without bond. These cases, these 7 charges are coming back to court on the 21st of March. Public defender will come see you about all your cases before your court dates, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Kara Perini. Miss Perini, what's your date of birth?
6281.
We have 2 warrants for you out of Pasco County. Each of them is a violation of probation warrant. Judge or judges that sign the warrants found probable cause and set your bonds on each one at no bond. I can't change that, so we will let the folks at Pasco know that you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. I will tell you it does not take 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here 5 days from now, they're going to bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Serena Probus. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
03/31/99.
Serena, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
A public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
And I'm sure no reportable history.
And Serena, I have an address for you on Peach Bloom Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, that's my mom's home.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
Since 2012.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
At the moment, no, but I'm a home health aide and I'm a patient care tech.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $100, Serena, but condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Adriana Probus until this case gets resolved. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through any other social media. You don't have a third person contact her. Don't go where she lives, don't go where she works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond may be revoked and you may be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact, so if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she'll be allowed to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. She may tell them she's not interested in pursuing this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I've got to hold you today up until 4 o'clock this afternoon, so that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as the address on Peach Bloom goes, as long as she stays there, you'll have to stay someplace else until this case gets resolved. You may go by one time to collect your things, your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay. To accomplish that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'll meet you there with a deputy who will stand by while you collect your things and get going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on the 21st of March. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Summer Scott. Morning, Summer. What's your date of birth?
08/24/95.
Summer, I have 3 new charges this morning. You've got a violation of an injunction, a burglary of a dwelling, and a criminal mischief. And she was here earlier this week. Is that anybody remember? No. She was here on a violation of an injunction. All right. And state any other history.
That was all something. So battery in 2000, it's like a disposition 2018 with PTI.
Yeah.
So,
There's a case out there, 18MM658. Nothing that we did our first appearance, of course, in your system. It's not your fault. It's just that the way it gets done now is impossibly slow. And just from memory, I believe that Summer is eligible to be recommitted and probably should be. Because she went out and violated the injunction. Did you bond out earlier this week, Summer?
Yes, sir.
There we go. All right. So, and I have no idea to know where that case is set either, by the way, other than the church. Okay. All right. So, Summer, what I'm going to do on the, first of all, on these charges, there's probable cause. Did you tell me you wanted the public defender?
Yeah, Jamie Kane is my public defender.
Okay, that's right. So I'll appoint the public defender. On the violation of injunction case, I'll set the bond at $1,000. I'm going to get your return date on that in a second. On the burglary and the criminal mischief, on the burglary, I'll set the bond at $2,000. On the criminal mischief, at $1,000. I'll also appoint the public defender on those, and we'll get you court dates in a second. Because job number 1 when you're out on bond is don't pick up new criminal charges, and it appears to me that you have. In case number 18MM658, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release and hold you without bond until that case comes back to court, which we'll figure out in a second. The public defender will come to see about all your cases before your court dates. And see what we can do. So, do you guys have the arrest arraignment calendar? Is that something you have in front of you? No. Arrest arraignment? You don't even know what it is. Okay. Well, I see. No, she has a felony, I think.
she does have something back in front of Judge Mayer.
Okay.
I don't have return dates on here, I just have the dates, alternate dates. that one looks like 17 CF1094 would be Americans.
Is that reopened or some PTI or something?
On,
Based on PTI 12518.
But again, that it's so slow that doesn't
Exactly.
what, and if I set new dates now, then it'll screw up the old dates, right? Okay, Summer, have a seat. We'll see if someone can dig through the piles of paperwork down on the first floor and find us an answer. I'll get back to you. It's not you. It isn't you, and I know who it is. I know why it is, and that's why I'm seeing you. Jessica Wasserman. Morning, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
4489.
Jessica, I got this morning 2 charges of possession of new legend drug, 1 charge of possession of controlled substance, 1 possession of drug paraphernalia, and 1 introduction of contraband into a detention facility. There's probable cause all the way around. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
A public defender?
I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
Yeah, she had a failure to appear in 2012 on a failure to vaccinate animal charge, and in 2017, resist without violence.
Is that local?
The resist or the
The animal thing.
Pasco.
Okay. We haven't done that kind of stuff here in forever. Jessica, address for you on Mineola Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That's where my mom lives. I don't reside there.
Okay. Where do you live?
I'm currently in between houses. Like I'm like homeless right now.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
I'm a self-employed. I clean houses.
Okay. I'll set your bond at $500 on each count, Jessica. So the total is $2,500. We'll have you back in court on the 26th of March. If you get out, make sure you go see the public defender. If you can't get out, they're going to come see you in jail. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Ms. Summers' court date is 3/21/2018.
For the misdemeanor.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys, Corporal, do you show does she have a return date on a felony case?
No, I do not. Hang on one second.
Well, this is always the case. If somebody comes back in the same week on first appearance, we got nothing. If I were going to commit 2 crimes in a week, I think that's how I would do it. Monday and Thursday. Jeffrey Fatkin. Morning, Jeffrey. What's your date of birth?
8987.
Jeffrey, I got 3 charges this morning: grand theft auto, driving under the influence, and resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
I think I'm going to try to hire private counsel.
Very good. And Mr. Helm, what can you tell me?
It's like 2008, possession of alcohol by a minor, 2011, paraphernalia and controlled substance, and marijuana, less than 20 grams. 2013, resist without violence. 2014, resist without. 2016, grand theft vehicle. 2016, marijuana, looks like less than 20 grams. And that's the last one I saw here.
And Jeffrey, I've got an address for you on Peace Boulevard in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That was where I was living. I got kicked out of there the other night.
Okay. You got someplace you're living now?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to get into a harbor.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, not right now. Not as of right now.
Okay. All right. Jeffrey, Jeffrey, on the grand theft auto, I'll set the bond at $2,000, on the DUI and the resisting at 1 each, so your total is 4. I'll have you back in court on the 26th of March. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes.
326 on the felony, 321 on the misdemeanor.
You're the best. Thank you. Have Ms. Scott come back up.
Scott.
Okay, so the misdemeanor charge this morning that I set at 1,000, that's coming back 321. We revoked your bond and your other misdemeanors, so that's also coming back 321. The new felony charges are coming back on 326. And the public defender is going to come see you at the jail about all of your pending charges, okay?
So what is the court date for on the 26th?
The 26th.
Which charge exactly?
Well, you've got the new charges, which are the burglary and the criminal mischief, and it looks like you had PTI on a felony case that was battery and criminal mischief, and the PTI is coming back, it looks like, on the 26th because you picked up new charges.
Okay, so I have court on the 21st?
21st and the 26th.
Okay.
Okay. You'll have a lawyer from the PD's office coming out summer to explain it all to you, okay?
Okay.
Christopher Gray. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
3/31/81.
Christopher, there's 2 charges this morning. You've got battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire a private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
Trying to AWLS in 2005. That's all here.
And Christopher, I've got an address for you on Candlebrook Lane in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Since December 9th.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Work for a Lumigard
Okay.
up by the airport.
Right, yep. Very well. Okay, I'm going to, Christopher, set your bonds at $500 on each count, so the total's 1,000. We'll have you back in court on the 26th of March. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Francis Guck. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
11/28/1953.
Francis' charge this morning is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Private counsel.
State.
Showing a prior DUI in New York in 1987.
And Francis, I have an address for you on La Quinta Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Correct.
How long have you been there?
1 year. I've lived in Spring Hill 16 years.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Retired.
Very good. I'll set your bond at $500. We'll have you back on the 21st of March. Make sure you tell your lawyer that date, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Talent Johnson. Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And Talents, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. Mr. Hyde.
We've filed a notice of appearance on that. It's an interesting case. He's alleged to have violated his probation. Then he pled out after that to violation of probation, but they added this charge retroactive. So it's going to be interesting. But anyway, I just request you set him on Judge Merritt's Tuesday docket so we can try to get it worked out.
Week,
Yes, sir.
6th. Right, March 6th?
That sounds right.
Good. So, Talents, we'll leave the bond at no bond. I'll move the date up to March 6th. Be back in front of Judge Merritt then, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. Oops. Sorry. Brian Niles. sir, what's your date of birth?
8/23/89, sir.
And Brian, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. Apparently you failed to appear in his court a couple days ago on a charge of grand theft. As to that charge, you're representing yourself. You're going to have private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Appoint the PD. And the bond on the warrant is $5,000. I won't change that. I'll send you back to see Judge Toner on the 26th of March. And the public, if you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Fred Norwood. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
1/21/74.
Mr. Norwood, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Ruby. She found probable cause for one count of grand theft. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender for now.
Date.
Comes on stuff back to, let's see, started 93, paraphernalia 96, controlled substance, probation violation 97, burglary conveyance 2006, petty theft 2009, failed to register as a felon, 2015 grand theft, 2015 possession of paraphernalia, 15 dealing in stolen property. I think that's the most recent.
Fred, I've got an address on Weeping Willow. Is that where you live?
Yes, prior.
How long have you been there?
Last year and a half.
Do you have a job these days?
No, sir.
I'll leave the bond for the warrant, which is at $2,000. We'll have you back in court on the 26th of March. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender's office right away, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Or 20th, I think. I'm going to move you to the 20th, Fred.
All right.
Michael Puebla. Michael, what's your date of birth?
7/18/1983.
Michael, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like a public defender?
A public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, state what you tell me.
No, report of history here.
And Michael, I have an address for you on Candlebrook Lane. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
2 months.
And Christopher Gray lives there too?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a job these days?
No, sir.
Is Christopher Gray still in the room, jail?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have Mr. Puebla step back. I want to talk to Mr. Gray again.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gray, normally in a situation like this, I would order him not to have any contact with you, but since you're here, if you want to continue to have contact with Michael, I can arrange that, but I need to know what you wish to do.
I don't want to pursue any charges. If I'm able to do that, I don't want to. It was a misunderstanding that got.
Okay, so you're all right having contact with Michael?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're not concerned that he'll hurt you or harm you in any way?
No, sir.
All right, very good. You can step back. And Michael, you can come back up. All right. Michael, I'm going to set your bond at $50. Condition of the bond is that you have only peaceful contact with Christopher. Of course, it's always a crime to touch him anyway he does not want to be touched. It now could be a violation of your conditions of pretrial release to have any contact with him that cannot be described as peaceful contact. But you all can have contact if you want it once you're both out. I will have you back in court on the 21st of March. Very important that you go and see or contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Michael Shipton. Morning, Mr. Shifton. What's your date of birth?
9/21/90.
Shifton, I've got 2 charges today: possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD. State.
I thought I recognized his name. Looks like we have a January 10th, 2018 arrest for retail theft. Looks like he had a violation of probation last year on what looks like 3 or 4 violations of injunction in 2016. Petty theft in 2015. There's another violation of injunction in 2015 with a probation violation. A trespassing in 2011.
Is the 2018 case open or new?
That I do not know the answer to. I can just see the arrest was January 10th. Oh wait, here we go. Possible misdemeanor Bob upcoming. Defendant is on. Currently serving 6-month probation sentence on 2018 and on 225. Sentence 13118.
Okay, so it's on probation. It's
Yes.
not open. Okay. And Michael, I have an address for you. I don't have an address for you. Where have you been staying lately? Michael.
7246, Fair Oaks.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
No.
I'm going to leave your bonds per the schedule, which is $2,000 on the meth and $1,000 on the paraphernalia, for a total of $3,000. And it sounds like you're on misdemeanor probation right now. Is that right, Michael?
Yes.
Okay. I only ask you that because it's probably a certainty that because you picked up the new charges, they're going to swear out an affidavit saying that you violated your misdemeanor probation, and that could result in a warrant being issued. The warrant will have no bond on it. So if you spend money getting out on these charges and then later get arrested for the misdemeanor VOP, you'll be out that money. If I'm the person that put you on probation and you stay in jail from today forward, you'll get credit for all that time on the VOP if that's what happens. You certainly may bond out on these, and if you do bond out, you should continue to report your probation on your misdemeanor. But that's up to you, okay?
Yes.
So I'll have you back in court on this on the 26th of March. Thank you. And David Trombley. Morning, David. What's your date of birth?
10450.
David, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. Apparently you failed to appear in his court last November on 2 charges: possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
A public defender.
Point the PD. Judge Merritt set your bonds at $10,000 and $2,000 respectively. I will have you back in front of him on the 20th of March. They told you the 26th. The right day is the 20th. If you're able to bond out, you should go see the public defender right away. If you can't get out, they'll come see you before court, okay?
All right.
Thank you. And Joel Mediver.
Some change of plea, Your Honor. 88 days credit. He just resolved his felony case with PTI. Thank you.
And you know what the charge or charges are?
And it looks like it's petty theft, Your Honor. 2018 MN 342.
Any restitution?
There's a second petty theft, also
340.
Don 340. Looks like we have no restitution on.
And Joe, do you know if they're M1s or M2s?
Doesn't look like either have information filed, so they both get M2s.
You said 88.
Correct. Yes.
All right. So, Joel, you want to resolve these misdemeanors today? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You understand by entering pleas in these cases, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent. But you want to give up those rights so we can take care of these today?
Yes, sir.
I apologize, Your Honor. I misspoke. There are information filed. They're both M1s. I don't know that it doesn't make any
It doesn't
difference.
make any difference to him. Right. Very good. So, Joel, in case number 18, MM340, as to the charge of petty theft, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to 88 days in the county jail, credit 88 served. Finding court costs will be $620, $100 for the public defender's office. In case number 18MM342, as to the charge of petty theft, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea. I'll find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 88 days in the county jail, credit 88 days served. Be a fine and court cost of $620 and $100 for the public defender's office. That takes care of those misdemeanors. Joel, if there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you can be released today to do whatever it is that you need to do next. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. And Wendell Reynolds.
Judge, if I could just convey the offer to Mr. Reynolds, have a chance to speak to him. Mr. Reynolds, this is the public defender. I have an offer from the state attorney to wrap up both of your cases today. It would be 12 months probation with early termination, meaning that probation will terminate when you complete the following conditions. You'll have to complete a batterer's intervention program, 20 hours community service, an alcohol assessment, and follow-up treatment. And you cannot possess or consume alcohol or go to any bars during this time. Do you want to resolve your case and get out today?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have two cases.
Yes, Your Honor. And one thing I didn't go over with the state is I requested that he can do time served on the newer charge, if the court would allow.
Okay. So 593, I assume, is a battery.
Yes, Your Honor.
593 is a violation of backwards.
It should be
597 is a battery. 593 is a violation of conditional release. I don't know how that.
So 597 is the battery, and you didn't mention anything about contact.
No, they're allowing
Peaceful contact, Your Honor.
It is 19 days credit if the court would allow it.
And Joe, you're okay with the credit time served on the violation of pretrial release?
I was just trying to see if there was any specifics regarding the conditions. It looks like they have identical offers. I think the intention was to do concurrent probation.
He's got BIP in the battery.
Yeah, I think it's fine to do time served on the playground.
All right. Very good. All right, I've got it all sorted out then. Wendell, you understand by entering pleas today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, that you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. We'll start with 18MM597 as to the charge that you committed the crime of battery. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'll accept that plea. Fine is freely and voluntarily made. I will, is adjudication?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll adjudicate you guilty and put you on probation for 12 months. Within the first 60 days of your probation, you're going to enroll in and thereafter successfully complete the batterer's intervention program. I'll have you do 20 hours of community service. You may perform that or buy any or all of it off for $10 an hour. Also, within the first 60 days, you'll have a substance abuse evaluation. If the evaluation recommends treatment, you'll follow that treatment. While you're on probation, do not use, possess, or consume alcohol or go into any establishments where the primary business is the sale of alcohol. You'll have peaceful contact with the alleged victim. Be a fine and court cost of $830 and $100 from the public defender's office. As soon as you get all those things done, Wendell, you can terminate the probation. So get busy, get those things done. You can get off of probation.
Yes, sir.
In case number 18MM593, as to the charge that you violated a condition of pretrial release, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Yes, sir.
I'll accept that plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 19 days in the county jail, credit 19 days served. In that case, there'll be a fine and court cost of $503, $100 for the PD, and your cost of incarceration. So, Wendell, if there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you're going to be released today. I need you to find your way to county probation no later than 4 o'clock on Monday, March 5th, 2018, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck.
I've checked into a follow on.
We have this young lady who showed up who's an alleged victim, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, she can come in.